Mavuika and the Traveler defeated the Gisoithoth, making Natlan free from the grasp of the abyss. Capitano sacrificed himself to pay the price to Ronova, saving Mavuika. This is the end of Natlan Archon quests. But Natlan's story is still not finished. Mavuika still has her gnosis. In the Agnatus Agate gemstone, we still don't know the name of the person the Pyro Archon mentioned. In the Teyvat Travail trailer, Dainsleif said that Mavuika will reveal her secret to the Traveler, which didn't happen. Also, let's talk about what happened to Capitano and the Shade of Death, Ronova. How she is connected to many major events of the game and even Arlecchino. Ronova is the ruler of death among the four shades of the heavenly principles. Ronova helped Natlan establish the rules and gave guidance to Yowaltakuten in creating the Night Kingdom. She had done this out of an expression of love and act of reparation. They created a framework which allows ordinary humans to become Pyro Archons through the pilgrimage of the return of the sacred flame. Those who ascend are then granted knowledge and memories of the land through the sacred flame. Ronova and Zbalank came to an agreement that those who used Renova's powers would eventually die. And if the heavenly principles were to find out, she would simply deny involvement and claim that her powers were stolen. When Mavuika used Renova's powers to repel an abyssal invasion, Ronova demanded that she die in order to fulfill their bargain. At that moment, Ronova appeared as a seemingly large entity, ripping open a rift in Teyvat's skies to look down on the world. From this rift, Ronova has 6 eyes, 1 large central eye and 5 small eyes around it. But we have heard something like this before. There is a book named Perinheri, which is based on a legendary story of Khaenri'ah. People of Khaenri'ah founded an organization, an orphanage, in anticipation of the arrival of beings who could transcend the gods. In later days, children who wandered in from outside their country were accepted as well. The young Perinheri's first memory was that of being asked by the grown-ups to crawl through a dark corridor. There they repeatedly asked him if he was dead, and finally when he replied, "Yes, I'm dead," he saw an illusion which is described as. Perhaps it was the fear brought on by the darkness combined with hunger and exhaustion, but Perinheri did indeed see an illusion. The crimson moon, hanging high in the pitch-dark night sky, suddenly turned around, revealing itself to be a titanic, horrified eye. Then they said he has been reborn. This description of the red horrifying eye in the sky and the concept of death sounds very similar to Ronova. In Arlecchino's character demo, we can see something similar. Arlecchino has ties to the Crimson Moon dynasty. We can also see many visual similarities between Arlecchino and Ronova. Both have crimson-crossed eyes. During an attack of the Knave boss fight, she has 6 wings with 6 eyes, which looks like Renova's eyes. Her outfit also has motifs that look like Renova's eyes. And many more of her talents, boss drop and even Harbinger's ranking has reference or death. During the Cataclysm, the ruler of death cursed the full-blooded Khaenri'ahs with immortality, leaving them to rot and suffer. Even though the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah and the Vinster King were the primary culprits responsible for the calamity, Ronova made no distinction in whom she cursed. We got to know this from Capitano, the description of the wings of Fate's course intertwined, and the official introduction of Dainsleif, which says, "The original calamity had been overturned, yet the island in the sky set the earth to burn. Chalk pursues gold, in this time inopportune, the eclipse is swallowed by the crimson moon." This crimson moon is also seen on the We Will Be Reunited trailer, where we can see the Abyss sibling running in Khaenri'ah with the crimson moon in the back. Now let's talk about what happened to Capitano. As Mavuika used Renova's powers, Ronova demanded that she die in order to fulfill their bargain. She had grown tired of Teyvat and ordered Yowaltakuten to kill her. But Yowaltakuten said that a second person is coming who is similar to the sacrifice she originally demanded. It's Il Capitano or Thrain who wished to inflict revenge on Ronova for inflicting needless suffering on innocent Khaenri'ahs. He offered himself as a sacrifice, knowing that the curse of immortality she placed on him would cause a paradox. Ultimately, Ronova decided to take her chances and continued upholding the curse of immortality, resulting in Yowalta becoming immortal due to Capitano's life force in her. So now Capitano's mortal body is still there sitting on the throne and his soul is with Yowalta. Means his goal of being the master of the ley lines has succeeded. And now he can bring the souls of fallen Khaenri'ah soldiers to the Night Kingdom. That means he is still alive and his life is with the Lord of the Night. It's similar to what happened with Layla in Masters of Night Wind Tribal Chronicle. He is not dead or won't die, as that would trigger the paradox. So there is still a chance that he would be alive and be a playable character in the future. During Traveler's ancient name-bearing, Seedlali also told us that souls that disappear can never be reborn. It could be a foreshadowing, as Capitano's soul didn't disappear. There is also the Fatui Will weekly boss theory. So far it is correct for Tartaglia, La Signora, Scaramouche and Arlecchino. Columbina is next, and after that it's Capitano, who should be the weekly boss. Capitano's Fatui symbol is 3 nails, which could be a reference to the resurrection of Christ. We even saw many blue butterflies flying in his cutscene animation, and blue butterflies change and rebirth. There are many hints that say that he will be a playable character. Comment below what you think.